If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in transmogs. Purple always works for Arcane, and I think it could also work for Frost this one. The Dreadful Gladiators, Silk Amos, you pick it up from Mop, PvP vendor, 2 marks of honor, easy to pick up. Those nice purple kind of gold shoulders. Now the chest really works with this set. Conqueror's Kieran Tor Tunic, Dalaran Wrath version, Legacy Justice Quartermaster, 210 gold to pick up the chest piece. The belt, which you get out of Siege, I was going to say Sieg, which would be incorrect. Siege of Orgrimmar LFR version, Malkorok is the boss, 14% is the drop rate on the belt. The legs, Conqueror's Kieran Tor Leggings, Ulduar, drops out of Ulduar, free as gift, is the boss, kind of a low drop rate to pick up the legs, but that's the matching piece from the chest. The feet, Slippers of the Lonely Road. What is the Lonely Road? I don't know. Eastern Plaguelands, Rough Roads. It's a quest reward to get those kind of purple and orange boots with the orange shoestrings or boot strings. I don't know. The glooves. These glooves are the gloves of Mountain Conquest in Eltharian's Lair, which of course is Legion. Dargrul is the boss. You can spam that because it's a dungeon. And Quill Stitch, Great Cloak, Drustvar. It drops off of a rare there, 26% drop rate on the cloak. And the head, Bloodthirsty Fireweave Cowl, Cata level tailoring. Check your local tailor, check your local auction house. The weapon really ties everything together. It's just from Macquarie, drops from that boss, 8% drop rate. Starting off with a very, very easy piece to pick up, Titan Forge, shoulder pads of domination, Wintergrass to Quartermaster, 2 marks of honor. That's the Wrath of the Lich King version, by the way. So that's very, very easy to get. Moving on, the chest piece, Arcanist Resident Robes. This is from Court of Stars, Legion Dungeon, so it's spammable. Patrol Captain Gerdo, or Greedo if you're a Star Wars fan. Fair drop rate on that. Now, I think what really pulls this set together is this particular belt. Out of that mythic raid from BFA, you can see Rastari Punisher is the boss, and it's got a kind of a low drop rate, but worth the effort to pick up that belt. The feet, Netherweave boots, you craft these, tailoring, or you could just step up, buy them on the auction house, or maybe find some kind of substitute that's also gray, or purple would work as well. Can't see the boots on the Undead, but I think Undead looks pretty sharp in this. Gloves, Abhorrent Strategies, Antares the Burning Throne, Heroic, Fellseeker, Ritualist, kind of a low drop rate, but worth the effort. And this is easy to get. Dark Leather Cloak, Vanilla level leatherworking, or you could just buy it on the auction house. There are a couple of lookalikes that I think are quest rewards. And we got a Lady Goblin showing you the headpiece, which is at a Sunwell Plateau. Killed Jaden the last boss, I believe, 15% on the drop rate for that headpiece. And finally, we get to the weapon, which really ties in nicely with this set. It's out of Dragon Soul Heroic, Hagara. The Stormbinder is the boss, 15% is the drop rate for the Lightning Rod. This works for Frost or Arcane, I think. The shoulders, Time Lord's Mantle, Dragon Soul, the LFR version, drops from all 5 of the first bosses, so that's a commitment of maybe 10-15 minutes at most to try and pick that up. Moving on, the chest, Hellfire Citadel, Shadow Lord Iskar. I wish they would make those guys a playable race. What do you guys think? Drop rate 12%. So pretty decent drop rate on the chest. We got a dwarf showing you the belt, the Antiquated Highborn Cinch, which is out of Nighthold. There's the boss, 16% on the drop rate, so decent drop rate on the belt. There's also quite a few lookalikes on that belt. The feet, Netherweave boots, BC level tailoring. Check your local tailor, check your local auction house, and the boots shall be yours. They're kind of a bluish gray look, so it works well with this. But you can't see the boots on a Draenei chick here, or Draenei lady. Time Lord's gloves, Dragon Soul LFR, first 5 bosses, which is going to be a trend here. You're going to see with the gloves, with the shoulder, and even the helm, or the headpiece, all of them drop out of Dragon Soul LFR. The back, either you have it or you don't at this point, because it's from a previous season in PvP, but eventually I am pretty confident that Blizzard is going to let you buy that with a PvP vendor if they ever implement one again. Like I said earlier, Time Lord's Hood, which is out of Dragon Soul LFR. Moving on, the weapon, which really works well, Death Speaker Spire. There's the boss, kind of a low drop rate. Keep in mind, it is Mythic version. This is a former Mage tier set, kind of mixed and matched together. So yeah, it goes with fire, but it also goes with the other Arcane and Ice, I believe. So that is from Naxxramas 10-man. That's the shoulders, of course. Decent drop rate on those, I have to say. The chest piece, Time Lord's Robes, regular version of Dragon Soul. As you can see, another really generous drop rate on the chest. Moving on, we're going to show you the belt, which is straight out of Legion. Got a Lady Draenei showing the belt. It's out of Nighthold. There's the boss, 16% on the drop rate. So good drop rate on the belt. Pretty decent drop rates all across the board so far. Come on, next, let's go. Okay, the feet, which you really can't see, are on a Draenei here. Linen boots, vanilla level tailoring. Check your local auction house. Check your local tailor to either craft or buy the boots. Easy to pick up. I think this looks amazing on a Worgen. The hands, Clock Winders, Immaculate Gloves, Stormwind Ogrimmar. It is from the Valor Quartermaster. It's 180 gold. It might even be cheaper. I don't know if that's 100% right. The back, which is not correct. The Dread Aspirant's cloak. I'll leave it in the description in the back. I made a mistake on that. That's a bit of a mistake. I got an orc here. The Royal Cloak of Arathi Kings, which is what the cloak was. I made a couple of mistakes here. Sorry. That's where you get the cloak. The headpiece is just, I think it's somewhere out of WoD. And the pillar of Drowned Cabal, the Mythic Crucible of Storms. There's the boss. There's the drop rate. I do flat out admit that this is probably a Warlock or Priest mod, but you know, some mages do want to look like Warlocks and Priests, so let's go with it. I think it works for Arcane. Maybe, maybe not, but shoulders are pretty easy to get. That's a good start. Now, the chest is the LFR version in Siege of Ogrimmar, Thok the Bloodthirsty, and he drops it at about a 24% rate, so that's not bad. Got a Dark Iron. Now, this does look really cool. It doesn't matter what clothy you are. This looks really cool on a Dark Iron Dwarf, as you can see. This is a Tyrannical Gladiator's Court of Accuracy. Just one mark of honor to pick up from Mist of Pandaria. The feet, Vindicator's Soft Soul Slippers, Blood Mist Isle. It's a quest reward, so that's Alliance only, but there's other gray types of boots or feet that you could pick up, so don't worry about that. The hands, Riven Priesthood Mitts, so yeah, it's a priest thing. Broken Shore, Relinquished Gauntlets, that's a cost of 650 Veiled Argonite to pick up, so that's the, you can buy that from a vendor. This is the Gilded Thorian Cloak, which is one of my favorite cloaks. Karazhan BC version, Drostrian Ilhoof is the boss, and 17% on the drop rate for that gray cloak. Wish there were more gray cloaks in the game, because gray goes with just about anything. So does black. Windshaper Hood, Negron, BC version. It's a quest reward. So that's pretty easy to get that headpiece. And last but not least, the weapon, Voidcore Greatstaff, Hellfire Citadel, regular version. Drops at a decent rate of 12% to pick up the weapon. One train of thought with this, Fire Mage. But it is part of a Mage tier set, so it could go with the other ones, I guess. Sanctified Blood Mage's Shoulder Pads, Ice Crown Citadel. This is the heroic version. Sindragosa is the boss. Great drop rate. The chest piece from my favorite X-Pac, High Maul. Well, that's not the X-Pac, but that's where the raid is. High Maul Heroic. Chuggle is the boss, as you can see the name of the robe. 21% on the drop rate. And the belt is the Deckhands Rope Belt. Blackrock Foundry Heroic. Admiral Garen is the boss, 12% on the drop rate. Like I said, Warlords of Draenor, all the fun. My favorite X-Pac. Feet, durable boots, Stone Talon Mountains, Sister Riven, or just buy it on the auction house. But it's got a good drop rate if you kill that rare to get the boots. They're rust. They go with this set really well. The hands, Sanctified Blood Mage Gloves, part of the same Mage tier set. From Ice Crown Citadel Heroic, Sindragosa is the boss, 36% on the drop rate. Moving on, we're going to show you the back, which is a quest reward from Gorgrond, from Warlords of Draenor, all the fun. Wisdom of Draenor, laying Draenor to rest. It's a quest reward. Got a Lady Goblin, and she is generous enough to show us. It says legs, that's a mistake. You got to forgive me. It's the headpiece. Blackrock Foundry Heroic, Rule is the boss, 17% on the Flare-Eyed Hood. Moving on, we're going to show you the weapon, which is out of Uldir Mythic version. Fetid Devourer drops it, 5% on the drop rate for the staff. If you're still listening up and until now, I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll close out by saying what I always say: whatever it is by you, whether it is morning, afternoon, or night, make your day epic.